Hey guys, how's it going? Bojo here once again doing our NHL 14 ratings reveal for the top 50 players in NHL 14. So we've made it all the way through the list and now we're getting ready to do the top 10. So these are the top 10 highest rated players that are going to be in NHL 14. So these are the guys you probably want to maybe consider picking up for your hut teams or GM modes or whatever kind of thing like that. These are the best rated players in NHL 14. So let's get started right away with number 10, and that would be Jonathan Quick, goaltender for the Los Angeles Kings. So he's got 5 stars in each of the categories: reflexes, puck control, and athletics. So Jonathan Quick, along with Henrik Lundqvist, are the 2 highest rated goalies in the game at 91 overall. So if you're looking for a goalie to pick up this year for Hut, try to pick up Henrik Lundqvist or Jonathan Quick. Okay, now at number 9 on our list at 92 overall is defenseman Ryan Suter from the Minnesota Wild. So he is rated 92 overall in this game. Now, I'm not sure if I totally agree with this at all. I kind of say yes and I kind of say no. One, because I think Suter was labeled in 13 at like 87 overall and they jump him up to a 92. But then again, Ryan Suter was pretty much the only player on the Minnesota Wild doing anything for that team early on in the season, so I do see why they bumped Ryan Suter up to a 92 overall. So he's got a 4.5 star shooting, puck skills, and physical category, and a 5-star skating, senses, and defensive categories. Defensive stats look pretty beastly. Shooting not the best, pretty good skater, and yeah, he's a really good defensive defenseman to have on your team. So making it to number 8 on our list is another defensive defenseman, Shea Weber from the Nashville Predators, who is also at 92 overall. So Shea Weber has a 5-star shooting, skating, physical, defense, and senses category, but only a 4.5-star puck skills category. Like Ryan Suter, Weber was pretty much a really good defenseman. 13, I think it was 90 overall in 13, so they bump him up 2 more overalls here. But his defensive category is pretty good. He's got a nice hard shot, pretty good skater, very physical. 6'4", 234. I mean, what else could you want? This guy is a beast back there on defense. Okay, so making it to number 7 on our list. If you played the NHL 14 demo, you knew he was probably going to make an appearance in the top 10, and that would be Taser, baby. Jonathan Toews, center for the Chicago Blackhawks at also 92 overall. So the captain for the Blackhawks has a 4.5-star shooting, skating category, a 5-star puck skills, senses, and defensive category, and only a 4-star physical category. So Toews has a really good defense. I mean, take a look at that face-offs, man. 95 overall for face-offs. I mean, you can't really ask for a better defensive category than that from a forward there. I mean, those are low 90s and everything. You couldn't ask for more. Great shooting category, good puck moving skills. Physical category is a little bit weak for Toews, but still, if you want a really great center on your team with that 95 face-offs, you definitely have to get your hands on Jonathan Toews this year. Making it to number 6 on this list is the first of the second top players for the Pittsburgh Penguins, and that would be Evgeny Malkin, also at 92 overall. So Malkin has 5-star category in shooting, skating, puck skills, sense, and senses, and a 4.5-star in physical and defense. So Malkin, playmaker, he's got a pretty good offensive category, low 90s everywhere. Skating's pretty good, high 80s, low 90. Puck skills are pretty good with mid 90s. Defensive category is pretty good, about high 80s, and pretty good physical category because Malkin can throw the body down a little bit. I'm not going to say much about this because you know I don't like the Pittsburgh players all that much, but still, getting Malkin, great player. Definitely want to try to get him on your Hut team this year. Alright, so now we move into the top 5 players in NHL 14, starting off with the captain of the Tampa Bay Lightning, Steven Stamkos, who is also 92 overall sniper. So Stamkos has a 5-star shooting, puck skills, senses, and skating category, a 4-star physical, and a 4.5-star defensive category. So Stamkos, you know, he's got this pretty Nice shot with mid-90s for everywhere. Really good puck skills, 93 everything. Skating is very, very fast skater. Defensive category is pretty good with mid-80s everywhere. And his physical category isn't all that bad at 4 stars. So, once again, you guys know the deal with Steven Stamkos, captain of the Tampa Bay Lightning, 92 overall sniper. Definitely want to try to pick him up this year. Okay, so now as we move on to number 4, the best overall rated defenseman in NHL 14 is going to be Zdeno Chara. Defenseman 94 overall. So the 36-year-old has a 5-star shooting category and a 5-star physical and defensive category, 4.5 stars for skating and senses, and a 4-star for puck skills. So Chara, he's not really all that much for accurate, but taking a slap shot with Chara is always good fun, especially with 95 slap shot power. Physical category, the guy's 6'9", 255. You can't ask for more than that. His body checking's 95. Chara can throw the body down. Really good defensive category with kind of low 90s everywhere. And yeah, not much I could say about Chara other than big guy to have on your team. And yeah, he can throw the body and can shoot hard. Alright, so for number 3, we move on to another captain here. Captain of the Washington Capitals, Alexander the Great, Alexander Ovechkin. 94 overall left wing sniper. 5 stars for shooting, puck skill, senses, skating, physical category, and a 4.5 star for defense. So if we take a look at Ovi here, pretty good shooting stats with mid-90s everywhere. Puck skills, mid-90s everywhere. Skating, pretty good, decent skater. Ovi can throw the body around as well, even though he is only 6'2", 233. He can throw the body down, and Ovi does have a pretty decent defensive category. So Ovechkin, one of the more faster players in this game. To me, he feels like he's always pretty dang fast in this game. And Ovi does have a wicked shot as well. So Ovechkin, number 3 on the list. Okay, so as we move on to number 2 now, we get to the ageless wonder, I guess, Pavel freaking Datsyuk, center for the Detroit Red Wings, 95 overall for Datsyuk. So if we take a look at his stats here, 4.5 stars for shooting, but 5 stars for pretty much everything else in puck skills, senses, skating, physical, and defense. So Datsyuk's shooting category, as you guys may know, it's decent, but Datsyuk is definitely much more known for in this game for making his fancy dekes and amazing passing. Guy is a defensive stud as well. Toews, he compares very, very closely to what Toews' defensive stats were, but very fast skater, good defensive player, great playmaker with great passing and great deking. And now we move on to number 1. So no surprise here, everybody pretty much guessed that this would be the number 1 overall rated player in NHL 14 without a doubt. Is going to be Crybaby. Oh, I'm sorry. Alright, I'll hold back my grudge here. Top rated player in NHL 14 is going to be, once again, Sidney Crosby, 95 overall, captain for the Pittsburgh Penguins. So if we take a look at Crosby's stats here, 5 stars for shooting, skating, puck skills, senses, and defense, and a 4-star for the physical category. So Crosby, once again, just pretty low 90s for shooting, mid-90s for puck skills, pretty good defensive category, another fast skater, not the best physical skater, but Sidney Crosby and Pavel Datsyuk do share the honor of being 95 overall in this game, and they put Sidney Crosby ahead of Datsyuk. Why, I don't know, but just because, I don't know, it's Crosby, I guess. It's just the name, man. It's just the name. So there you go, guys. There are the top 50 players in NHL 14. So all these guys are definitely players that you may want to consider grabbing up for your HUT team, because if you guys are not sure of how the HUT stats are determined by these stats, you basically take whatever HUT stats are on the card and add up the subcategories and take the average, and that's what the stat of their HUT card for that particular stat attribute is going to be. So you could basically figure out what their HUT card overall is going to be from these stats right here. But that is basically it for the top 50 players in NHL 14. So yeah, thanks for watching this, guys, and happy shopping.